Well, hello everyone out there in El Paso and anywhere else around the world. This is your boy Zubi once again, coming back to you. Damn, I feel like Kid Charlemagne right now. You don't know who Kid Charlemagne is, you can go fuck yourself. No. Kid Charlemagne was this, he was in this episode of Malcolm in the Middle. And if you've seen that show, then you know how amazing it is. Look at the episode with Kid Charlemagne. It's basically Hal running a pirated radio station where he talks about conspiracy theories. So it is kind of weird for me starting a podcast or doing a podcast just by myself, but I figured it's been so long, I'd have to get this done at some point. It's bound to happen. Just a quick update. For all of you out there, I figured I needed kind of like an output for those of you who wanted to contact me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this out whenever the podcast does come out on my YouTube channel. But if you want to email me and suggest anything that you might want to hear about with me or any of my guests, you can reach me at Zubi's Podcast EP. That would be ZUBIS. PODCASTEP @gmail.com. Feel free to send me an email. Comments, complaints, gripes, all that good stuff. I'm down to read all of those. I figured it's been so long since I actually did this, and I haven't really been looking for anybody to come join the podcast anytime in a long time. I don't know if it bothers any of y'all hearing my mouse over here. I actually love the sound of this damn thing. You're going to hear a lot of clackety clack here in a couple of minutes because I am here at my standing desk. A recent purchase of mine. I highly suggest it. It's way better for your back, said the old man. So I was just listening to some stuff on while I was doing my morning workout today, and I figured I'd talk about a couple of things that came up throughout the week. So Jesus, if you've been driving around, you notice that any government building that has an American flag on it has to have the flags half-mast. And if you're sticking to the news at all, you know that there's been 2 shootings here in America in the last 2 weeks. Now, I was talking about this with a friend of mine at work earlier this week. I think it might have been yesterday. About how, there's always going to be that talk about what the solution to this gun violence in our country may or may not be. And of course, there's going to be people who wanted to take the extreme options. I mean, if I were to be dictator, then I think we've all had this thought, like, if I was in charge of things, I would do things a certain way. But or if you thought to yourself, like, if you were in charge of the country, you would do things a certain way. But it's kind of like trying to put a bunch of cats into a sack. You're not going to make everybody happy, especially when there's over like 250 million of us here in this country alone. So you're not going to make everybody happy. That being said, I was talking to my friend, like I said, about gun control in other countries. Like, for example, how, and here I'm gonna look it up. I don't want to give you anything just off the top of my head, but while I was serving in Japan, let me see, gun control laws. While I was serving in Japan, feels like a lifetime ago. A friend of mine had told me that, surprisingly, you can own a gun in Japan, but it's very, very regulated. So how can I put it? That not all handguns are banned. For example, you can have shotguns and rifles. But check this out. This is from BBC.com. Let me see. It says if you want to buy a gun in Japan, you need patience and determination. You have to attend an all-day class, take a written exam, and pass a shooting range test with a mark of at least 95%. There are also mental, health, and drug tests. Your criminal record is checked, and police look for links to extremist groups. Then they check your relatives too, and even your work colleagues, and as well as having the power to deny gun license, police also have sweeping powers to search and seize weapons. Alright, and it says the law restricts the number of gun shops. In most of Japan's 40 or so prefectures, there can be no more than 3, and you can only buy fresh cartridges by returning the spent cartridges you bought on your last visit. Yeah, pretty stringent. I know that definitely would not fly in America. Now, you compare something to that, like I heard about the Swiss patrol laws, because how can I put it? From what I remember, the Swiss, they have actually a very, very deep love affair with guns too. Let's see. Unlike the U.S., Switzerland has a mandatory military service for men. This is from BusinessInsider.com. All men between the ages of 18 and 34 deemed fit for service are given a pistol or a rifle and trained. After they finish their service, the men can typically buy and keep their service weapons, but they have to get a permit for them. So how can I put it? I think, and do let me know if you don't agree with this or agree with it. America is a fairly young country, and as such, I believe. We've been building our culture and who we are as a nation. And what I'm trying to get to is that we're kind of still learning our way around certain things that other countries have been doing for probably far longer than we have. For example, alcohol. I've noticed with a couple of my how can I put it? My foreign exchange student buddies or acquaintances. Their relationship with alcohol is very different than I found to have in America. For example, we had these friends from Czech Republic who, they've been around alcohol and, they drink it not to the extent that we do. Let's say, for example, the day you turn 21. The point is, it's been around them and they've been able to consume it far longer or at a far younger age, sparingly as they grew up. So by the time, they reach 21, they don't just go like most Americans and just balls out. And I think it's kind of the same thing with guns. What do I mean by this? We are. I guess some people are gonna hate this, but I think we really are a culture of excessiveness. We don't want just a car. We want a big car, and we don't want to just have a beer. We want a 12-pack. We don't want to just have a half sandwich and a salad. We want the frickin' size Whataburger with large fries and a Dr. Pepper. Which to each their own, but we have to admit excess has consequences. As far as guns is concerned, I think it's also something like that. I'm not gonna get on a pulpit here and tell you to ban assault weapons. In fact, I like shooting them. They're fun as hell to shoot. But I also understand that it's a weapon of war. That being said, I'm not saying none of y'all can have one. Sure, I've thought myself of buying one every once in a while. But I think the real issue, and I think most people on both sides are going to agree, is just actually having a reasonable gun control measures out there that really pick out the people who I think we can all agree should not own a weapon. Whatever those categories may be, it's up to you. It's up to but that's why we choose people to make those decisions for us as representatives. But at the same time, I think we can all agree that giving guns to just about anyone who wants them can have some very serious effects, as we have seen. I mean, not just over the last 2 weeks. I mean, shit, this has been happening for as long as I can remember, and probably before that. And it's one of those things that gets more press also, simply because we are far more connected thanks to smartphones and the internet and just the media machine that's all around us. There's freaking pigeon can fart across the street and it'll be in the news like in 2 minutes. But we just need to really change, I think, culturally, the way we look at guns and weapons. Not so much get rid of them. I don't think that's the answer, because there's dangers out there. There's going to be people who don't follow the law and are somehow going to get their hands I mean, any kind of weapon. It could be an assault rifle, shotgun, handgun, anything like that. And I'd like to know that somewhere around there is a citizen who is responsible and well-minded, and will have a weapon out there and will help out. Not to mention armed security guards and things of that nature, authority. I don't think getting rid of guns is the answer altogether. Anything that's extreme should never be the answer in any part of your life. Just like I was saying, don't drink the 12-pack. Have just a few, or man, I sound so terrible right now. Hypocritical is the word. Yeah, I've gotten fucked up before many times. I guess I'm like most people. I'm willing to admit that I am a hypocrite, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm only human. But yeah, I wanted to touch up on that. Feel free to send a response on that, because I'm actually curious to hear what the people here in El Paso, and any listeners, wherever you may be, have to say about the subject. Because kind of like I was thinking, yeah, like those stringent gun control laws in countries like Japan and Switzerland or wherever they may be, they work for their cultures, but they are not us. America is not like any other country in the world, just like not any other country in the world is like America, and vice versa. Like, we all got our own thing going, so we got to find a gun control laws that work for us as Americans. Yeah, we are not the same. I was also thinking, just to change the subject, on the way here, about how long it had been since I actually started doing this podcast, and I mean how sparingly I do it. I should do it more often, and I know there's a bit of an audience out there, and I'm thankful for every single one of you guys. I really appreciate you guys listening and staying out there to find out what the next episode is going to be about. Yeah, it's just been it's been a busy time, and but that's no excuse. That's no excuse. And I do want to sincerely apologize for not having more content for you guys to listen to. I wanted to touch up on a little something. I know that the latest episodes so far have been about basically how nothing happened in El Paso. That being said, things are opening up here, at least in Texas. Whatever may be going on in other states, I mean, wherever you may be, I hope things are getting better as far as the coronavirus is concerned. Things are starting to happen. I noticed that whenever I go to shops now here in El Paso, like, the parking lots are getting a little bit more full. There's lines out there. And even though our governor kind of just suggested that, what was it? Oh wait, that was not a thing. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. I'm actually still. It makes me kind of like puff up my chest in a bit of pride that even though things are opening up and people are all around the country are getting comfortable, or a little too comfortable with the state of our country as far as coronavirus is concerned, like, here people still voluntarily, you know, wear their mask wherever they go. And there's always going to be people here and there that don't wear it, but what I'm trying to say is, like, people are not being dicks about it here in El Paso. Like, you know, if somebody chooses to wear one, you know, nobody gives them any shit, and if somebody chooses not to, I would just leave the person be, you know. But in the vast majority, I notice, like, people here, you know, I guess we're just in the habit. Or maybe we were becoming kind of empathetic, or whatever the case may be, whatever your personal reason for wearing it. In my point of view, you know, thanks, you're the shit. Because this isn't over yet. I'm sorry, but that thing's still out there, and I mean, there's 100 million people barely who got, I'm assuming, what is just the first dose of the vaccine so far. So, you know, that's, I commend you, El Paso. You know, cheers. I commend you on that. But things are happening now. And like I was telling you, dear beloved listener, I have no excuse not to post something at least once a week or like twice a month or something like that. And that got me thinking, you know, so some of my friends or colleagues or acquaintances out there, they kind of sort of didn't take advantage of the fact that they didn't have to go to work and still, you know, got that juicy paycheck in the mail called unemployment. And I keep thinking to myself, like, I've been fortunate enough to actually still work. But I can only think about the stuff I would have done with my time if I still had an income and didn't have to work. Like, I think true liberty comes when you realize you have the time to do whatever you want to do. And it's really squandered when you choose not to do a damn thing. If you don't feel guilty about it, I mean, that's your affair, but I don't know. I guess I'm trying to push momentum upon you, listener. It's a really good feeling when you know you've earned that rest, or when you've earned that sit down in front of the TV and relaxing time. It shouldn't have to be just, you know, your modus operandi, because if there's one thing I try to keep present every day is that I'm only going to be here once. And I mean, and so are you. I want to make that very clear. It might be a bit of a, how can I put it, a corrosive statement, but we need to get off our asses. We really do. It's kind of sad when I see so many of my friends from school, and Jesus, they let themselves go. Oh my God, that's such a shitty thing. But I mean, we all make our choices, you know. We all choose these things. It shouldn't be an excuse. I know plenty of parents out there who, I mean, have 2-3 kids and full-time jobs and still have time to, you know, plan out their diet and go to the gym, or, you know, get a little bit of a workout at home. Like, if 45 minutes is all you need. I'm saying this because you and I and everyone here should care about ourselves. There's only that one body you're in right now, and you're not gonna get another one, homie. You know, so the least you can do is, you know, just take care of it. You know, and it's really, I was thinking about this mentality that a lot of my friends have back home, or anything, you know, anywhere I go. Maybe you have friends like these. Maybe you are this friend. You know, I'm gonna die of something, is the saying in Spanish. Algo me voy a morir. You might hear it very, very often, which is true. You know, it could be a car accident. You could get struck by lightning, attacked, you know, mauled by a tiger, freaking diabetes, heart attack, whatever. But, you know, I'm not talking about the things over which you don't have control. I'm talking about the things over which you do. You know, and like I said before, I'm a hypocrite about this. Once in a while, if you catch me around the street, I may be smoking a cigarette. Shit. You know, I'm which I'm really trying to slow down on that, and I've been pretty successful lately, which is good. Or excessively eating all the time. I'm not saying don't get you your Wada-sized burger, man. Do it once a week. Have your cheat day. Enjoy yourself. Earning that beer feels amazing. Or earning that burger, I should say. But this whole mentality about, especially when I see it in people in their early 20s, it really gets to me. It may be something that happens maybe just in like Hispanic communities. Let me know if it happens in other ethnic communities, but at least it's been my experience. That apparently once one reaches his or her like early to mid 20s, like this whole having kids, a house, and sort of letting go has to have happened already, which I think is just a crock of shit. I mean, if that's the choice that you want to make, I mean, if you're gonna make it, at least do it the right way. But personally, like, and I'm really trying to focus on the whole letting go thing. I mean, having kids and getting a house and getting married early on is not a bad thing. I have a very, very close pair of friends that did that, and it's going well for them. Marriage is for some people, and it works out and good for you. But don't make it a pressure of life. Don't make it a pressure that you think has to happen, because it's just one more thing that's gonna hang on top of you, man. Like this whole if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It's better just to work on yourself and and be good to yourself, and good things will happen. Surround yourself with kick-ass people that support you and want to make you, they want to see you do better, and you do the same for them. And that whole a better job and good health and all those things will just fall in place. At least that's been my experience. You don't have to force all these things. You put this unnecessary pressure on your shoulders of like, holy shit, like I'm about to turn 30 and I'm not married yet. Like, what the fuck am I doing wrong? It's don't get into that mentality that I'm talking about. Like, there's things that there's other things out there. Marriage will come, the relationship will come, children will come. This is gonna happen sooner or later. And you don't have to plan things out, to a T. I know I fucked up. I've made some mistakes because I sort of put that kind of pressure on myself. So I mean, I guess I'm kind of speaking from experience, and no two life experiences are the same. All I'm saying, it's best to and enjoy you, get to know yourself, and know your worth, man. That way, whenever whoever you think is the right person comes along, you know what you're putting on the table. There's none of these. Well, I'm trying to stay with this person because I'm trying to get married before I turn however old. It's not the clock is ticking, this needs to happen situation. That's how people end up with the wrong person. And shit, it happened to me. That's a good blue moon. All I'm saying is, take care of your mind and your body, so that whenever the things that need to happen in your life do get there, you're ready. You're ready. You want to. I mean, ideally, I think we could all agree that we want to know that when the time comes to buy a home, your credit is doing good and you got enough money in the bank, or that if you got a kid on the way, you got somewhere to be. All these little things matter. And I just I don't know, I just don't. I've done a couple of those mistakes in the past, and right now I'm in the point of my life where I'm just trying to really take control and do things my way, because I'm gonna make this very clear. As far as taking care of my body, or just trying to work on myself and do the things I want to do, and it may happen to you, or it may already have happened to you. Just realize, like, let me give you an example. Like, let's say you have to go to work early. I don't know, tomorrow, but your friends or your buddies says that you have to go. Get, I don't know, go to a party, or just stay up late, or whatever, or go do something else, or just people getting in the way of some of your personal goals, dude. Like, you have to make it very clear to those friends that, hey man, I got something to do, because at the end of the day, those people don't pay your bills. Those people are not gonna squat for you. They're not gonna curl for you. They're not gonna fix whatever you had to fix the next day in the house. They're not. I mean, they're not gonna do those things for you. You have to do them anyway. And that's when you realize when your actual friends and people who just want to have somebody to party or drink with, you're gonna be able to separate those categories. I've been thankful enough that for the last couple of months, like, my friends have been understanding. Like, when I tell them, I say, hey, listen, like, they'll call me and say, hey, dude, like, we're gonna go have a party or whatever, and like, but in my personal schedule, now I have to, go work out early, or I have to go do this paperwork or whatever, and I tell them, it's like, nah, man, I'm not going. I got shit to do. And thankfully enough, they understand. And they don't give me grief for it, and I love them for that. That's how that's a good friend, because they understand you got shit to do, and the same thing goes for you. Like, whenever you tell a friend or an acquaintance, it's like, hey man, let's go party, let's go make some bad decisions. When they say no, well, just understand and respect that no. Because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know what they have to do the next day. And I think that goes a long way, especially throughout this pandemic, or at least in El Paso, because that seems to be the only thing most of the people here want to do, myself included. Like, when I've had a long fucking week, and it's been a lot of work, and I got all my workouts in, and I read what I had to read and did what I had to do, I part of me really wants to go, downtown and not just get buzzed, but get what's that thing my friends say, get white girl wasted. But yeah, it feels so much better when I earn it. And believe me, if you try to, you make a weekly list of things that have to get done, and those things actually do get done, you feel so much better about drinking that beer, or doing those shots, or drinking that Truly, or whatever floats your boat. It's exactly kind of what's happening here, because it hasn't been a bad week, but it's been a bit of a long one. I've been busy, but I did all the things that I had to do during the weekdays. So I figured, what, I'm gonna treat myself and do a little podcast. Myself a little beer, but yeah, I wanted to touch up on that mentality. Just because you're in your early 20s and certain things haven't happened in your life, that's okay. There's always time to get things started, get that momentum going, and pick and choose who you want in your life, because you can do that. You can do that. You don't have to be hanging out with people who are not good for you. It's never too late. It's never too late. I mean, you don't have to, stay at that job necessarily. You can bear it for a couple of months, save some money, make yourself a window. Get yourself some ideas. You don't have to be stuck somewhere. Man, I sound like a freaking motivational speaker, but I think it's true. These things. And I just wanted to get with you guys at least for a nice little half hour. Yeah, just to reiterate, let me see, just did this email. So yeah, if you wanna email me with some hate mail, I'm always looking forward to those. Some little hate mail. You can put in the subject line "Hate Dipshit." I'll definitely read that one. It's a Zubi's Podcast EP. That's ZUB, B as in Bravo, ISPODCASTEP at gmail.com. This will be uploaded here pretty shortly. I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. Feel free to send me whatever you want me to talk about, whether it's national news, local news, trends, whatever's going on TikTok, which I recently gave in and downloaded. I mean, it's alright. It's a good way to kill your time, I guess. I have my own vices. I don't need one more, so I try to stay away from it. But do give me some highlights. I'll check it out and talk about it here. Other than that, I wish you all a great rest of your weekend, and enjoy yourselves, y'all. Have a good one.